Typical consumer application. We are on holidays. We would like to send home some photos. We would like to upload some photos on our Facebook account. We would like to upload a small movie on YouTube. How long does it take? I think if we imagine just to stand on one leg, technology which was 2 to 3 years ago up to date, ADSL with 1 megabit, we are not willing to wait so long anymore. And 24 photos, that's nothing. If you just imagine a DVD movie, DVD quality, that's what we expect today. We are living in a digital age, we are living in the age of the cloud, we are dependent on it. And for me, broadband is not so much what is on the advertisement, but broadband is always what the consumer expects and what the consumer today rightfully expects. So it's always to us, it is the consumer perception, and in the end, it is the consumer who is judging whether broadband or the service provider is delivering and whether the consumer perceives that what he is paying for the service is worth his money. I think we stop there. We don't even go to business with backup or we don't go to society for delivering X-ray photos, which is of course then going into all the e-health, e-inclusion, and really what is driving the whole economy forward. For me, broadband is much more. Broadband, as we heard in the morning, as we heard yesterday, it is an enabler. It is not serving only the ICT environment, it is serving the whole economy. We all know Qatar, very small economy, very rich in oil, much richer in gas. We need to diversify the economy. And it is now undoubted that broadband has a positive impact on the whole economy. We have seen it internationally, it is proven, we have the econometric data available. My main example is, or my most preferred example is, everyone knows when we have a road network. We are used to super fast highways, and everyone knows what happens if you have a friendly chap, a friendly guy in a toll booth, and every time you would like to use the road, you have to pay $100. Everyone knows instinctively what this would cause on the industry further downstream. Logistics centers, gas stations, restaurants, commuting, movability of goods and services. For me, broadband, as an enabling function for a whole society, it is the same. If you make it expensive, or if you make it slow and don't enable it to develop, the whole society, the whole ICT society will suffer. I think it's quite clear, no or very little data centers. One of the ambitions of Qatar is to become a knowledge society. Knowledge society, broadband availability, and we are talking fixed and mobile broadband, an absolute necessity, it is an utility. And what it means for e-education, e-literacy, e-government, I think that's absolutely clear. Cost of goods and services will stay high, speed of delivery is absolutely clear, and again, I would like to stress this here. Broadband, QNBN, we are not doing it for itself. It is really for diversifying the economy and for benefiting the diversification of the Qatari economy. It is also very good to remind ourselves where we're coming from and where we're going to. For me as an economist, it is absolutely fascinating to work in Qatar because things are here moving really, really fast. And what I'm used to from Austria, from Europe, things which take decades, here it can be achieved within a couple of years. Just to remind ourselves, 2005 and 2010, only 6 years. It is a glimpse We tripled our gross domestic product. The value of the economy tripled just within 3 years. Telecommunication revenue, that's really good news for the operators as well. It more than doubled only in 6 years. And we need to remind ourselves is we had only real competition in Qatar for 2 years. Even with falling prices, telecommunications revenue doubled. People are asking for more mobile broadband, they're asking for content. It's absolutely good news for the whole environment, for the whole ecosystem here. But on the other hand, what you also need to take into account is that the whole transport and communication sector relatively of the whole GDP stayed the same. So I personally think there is quite a lot of room for development, especially if we are going down diversification of the economy and going down the road of a knowledge-based society. Prices, I think it's quite clear. The upper part of the slide is the region. In the region, we are not too bad, but we aren't the cheapest either. Not so good news is we're at least 3 to 4 times as expensive as Europe, at least. What we also need to take into account is, please correct me guys, I think in Europe now you can expect at least 8 megabit on average. Unfortunately here, fortunately there's quite some room for improvement. If after 1700, after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you get more than half a megabit, you're really lucky. So that's absolutely good news for growth opportunities. And it is quite clear, and this is what ictQATAR is doing. We do make a difference. Loads of digital actions together, it will have an impact. It's quite clear what we are doing. It will make an impact on economic growth. We are now contributing with QNBN. It's definitely one step in the right direction. It is one step. And I also think we need to bear in mind that broadband now, it's perceived as a citizen right. Many jurisdictions now, broadband is a part of the universal service obligation. But when I perceive it or when I view it from a consumer perspective, most of us have children, we are living in the cloud, we are using cloud services. If you take away Facebook, if you take away Twitter, if you take away the cloud services from the companies, the kids go cold turkey and companies can't function anymore. It is there, it is necessary, it is a utility like road, water, clean water, sewer. We need it, I think. There's no discussion about that anymore. And how to bring the whole economy forward, I think it's quite clear. We have our initiatives. We are going down the road with Qatar National Broadband Network. And it's quite clear, from a pure economic point of view, we need open, fair competition on all levels of the value chain.